What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video from the Capitalist Investor YouTube channel. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. Today's video is a portfolio update, as I haven't done one for a while, but I'm sort of rebooting this YouTube channel. So my main portfolio, which is sitting in my investment ISA within FREETRADE, is currently sitting at £9,674.69, which is actually down since I began investing by £475.31. We will go through some of the big movements down below, but before I do that, I do quite like to show the graph of investing and sort of some of the peaks and troughs that we have here. So I'll start with the 1 day analysis, which obviously as a weekend we don't have any. 7 days, you can see there's a real rally in terms of the portfolio and how well it was doing, but towards the back end of the week, that rally really started to drop off. So actually, on the week, we're up. We can see, just over £100 up for the week, but we're still down by that 475. Looking at the monthly, well, this spike here was actually me putting £500 into my account, so that was actually lost within 2-3 days. I'd lost the value on that, but actually what you can see is no money has been added to the portfolio from that £500 on the 14th of May, and on the 31st of May it's sitting up at where we are now, 9,674 pounds. Sorry about that. So actually that is it's nearly £1,000 increase. We're talking £800 increase for about 2 weeks worth of portfolio. And then looking at the max, you can see that actually it was all steady growth for the majority of it. And then obviously there's where the coronavirus chipped in, and then we started to sort of increase the amount of money I was putting into the account just to make sure that I was riding any dips that we had. So without further ado, let's go into the actual details of my portfolio. So starting with the top 5 holdings that I have, MSCI World is my biggest holding, and I hold 154 shares, and the current value is £844.15, a 6.33% increase from when I purchased it. And looking at the actual details on there, we can see that's a £50.29 gain. So I'm pretty happy with that. That one obviously tracks the whole world index. Starbucks, which is one of my favourite investments that I have, and that currently sits at £763.98, a gain of 17.69%. Now, I've not held that one for very long, and we'll go on to that in a second. But what some of you might have noticed is the number of shares that I hold is actually 12.0933. So you might be wondering, well, how do I have 0.933 of a share? And that's thanks to FREETRADE's fractional sharing, which they have introduced recently, which allows you to buy not just a whole share, but you can buy a fraction of a share. And that means once that company pays a dividend, you'll receive a fraction of the dividend. This is good for, investing for, people with not as much money, so they can actually obtain shares in things like Amazon or Starbucks or Apple, etc., which are often the higher priced shares, but we can now buy them at a fraction, and you can obviously keep adding to them. It's also good for reinvesting dividends when obviously you can't buy a full share. So if we go into Starbucks, we can see that it's currently trading at $78, and that is up 1.64% on the 30 days. As you can see here, the 17.69% investment gain equates to £114.84 gain overall. And you'll look at when I actually made the purchases, it was all really when the coronavirus was at its sort of peak time. So the end of March, early April was predominantly the sort of 5 shares that I purchased there. And then I added to that with 2 shares in the 11th of May, or 2.09 shares. Definitely one of my favorites, and I'm hoping to make this position a much bigger position in the next portfolio update. Lloyd's is a sad story, sitting in third. 2,228 shares, currently sitting at £677.48p, and a loss percentage of 33.47%. It's also worth noting at this point that, as like most banks, Lloyd's have cut their dividend, so I won't be receiving any dividend income from this. The value is currently sitting at 30 pence, and that is down 5.73% on the last 30 days. As you can see, that huge loss that I currently have at the moment on this of £340.77, with my average share being 45 pence against that 30 pence. I have tried to dollar cost average down into this, so you'll see that actually early April I sort of bought 600 of the 2,000 shares that I have, hoping to pull down the value of my average cost share. I do still believe in Lloyd's, but obviously with the dividend cut that we currently see, it's one that I'm definitely going to have to review. But at a position of 30 pence a share, I am still interested in it and believe that it will still be on the UK banking system going forward. So I still will hold that position in there. And then fourth on the list is commercial property, which was one of mine where I hold this really because it's a month. Well, it was a monthly paying dividend, and therefore I like the money coming in to then offset against the £3 free trade charge on the investment ISA. As you can see, 856 shares I have in this, and actually that's a decrease from the overall investing of 14.42%, with a current value of 665.11. And if we go into that, you can see actually it's increased by 20.45% in the last 30 days, which is great. And you can see, however, that my current loss amount on there is actually £112.04. But you will see that I've made some purchases, sort of 18th of March, but then that was probably the biggest one that I've made most recently, but then topped that up a little bit with 50 shares on the 1st of May. The reason I haven't really added to this is they actually stopped their dividend for the last 2 months, I believe, or 1 month. But I do believe the dividend is coming back, and the dividend X date was the 14th of May 2020. So all of these shares will be eligible for that dividend, and I'm expecting to get a payout of around £4 for the shares that I hold in this when that is actually paid. So that will just be reinvested straight back into this, but at current market price, that will get me 4 or so shares in commercial property. Another one that I do continue to hold just because it diversifies the portfolio. And so, yep, we'll continue to hold that and hope it bounces back up as they start to pay a more continuing dividend. Then fifth on the list is UK dividend, which is currently valued at £560.56p. I hold 98 shares in this, and the portfolio since it began investing is 6.54% down. You'll notice that actually within my top 5 there is 2 index funds here, so MSCI World and UK Dividend, which obviously tracks different indexes. So this one tracks the performance of an index composed of UK companies to the higher yielding subset of the FTSE 350 index. Income will be distributed as cash. So definitely one of my more favored options is to invest in indexes. I think it's much easier, doesn't need the research. And so if you're a new investor, I would highly recommend looking at indexes. So not much to talk about on this one apart from a loss of £39.22. And I have added to this position in April 28 shares each time, costing me £146.26. This one, I believe, is going ex-div in the first couple of weeks of June. So definitely one to hold before then if you would like the dividend. And it typically pays a reasonable dividend. So yeah, definitely one to continue to watch. So that's my top 5 investments based on value. But I will also show you the rest of the portfolio and mention any sort of notable increases or decreases that we can see. I think Carnival was one where the position was worrying. The value was continuing to decline, but it has seen a slight pickup. And I think I did purchase some of the dip. So you will see 10, 15, and 28 of shares purchased during this sort of when it crashed. So if you look at the value of it, it has increased over the past 30 days, but you can see that huge decrease. And I did actually buy some in this height here. So I've sort of average costed down to the values that we're seeing now. One of the big winners is AbbVie, a stock that I've held for a reasonable while now. So I first purchased it in the August 2019, and I again purchased some in April based on a small dip that we were seeing from the coronavirus, averaging at £56.15 per share. I'm currently seeing a investment gain of £57.19. Just scrolling through again, guys, so you can see some more. City of London was a very recent purchase. Did some research on it and thought it was a good paying dividend stock. And given that a couple of the dividend stocks that I held have actually cut their dividends, so Virgin Money, Lloyds Bank, BT, I've started to look at some other good regular paying dividend stocks that I can add to the portfolio to start some new smaller positions. You'll see some of the other ones that I've got in here. There's Virgin Money, Aviva, both taking a huge hit, but not unexpected given the segments that those guys are in. You'll see Pennon, a huge increase of 23%, but doesn't obviously, because the value-wise equate to a large amount, but £21.42 gain is not to be overlooked. 0.9 of a share in Disney and an £11 gain on that share I'm very pleased with, although wish I'd have bought more at the time when I did. BT, as I said, cut the dividend, so a huge decrease as expected. I believe ITV cut their dividend as well, so a huge decrease from them. Some of the sort of big wins are actually sitting at the bottom of my portfolio with very small holdings, but Boohoo, which I bought just because I buy clothes from there, I know the business, and it's even more popular now that we've been in lockdown and people are still online shopping. So bought that one. Bacanora, that one I bought because it's lithium, and I believe that electric cars are coming, and there's going to be more demand for lithium, and as a lithium, identifier, and looking for ways to actually get lithium, this company is a good buy, and at 22p that it currently is, I don't think it's like a huge investment, but I just wanted to have a piece in there to track how that is getting on, as well as Bushveld, which is a mining and processing firm. So I'm a bit annoyed that my bottom four actually are all in green positions, but my position is very low in them. But they're not ones that I have massively researched, and therefore will always be the lower holdings of my portfolio. Now, I've not gone into massive detail on any of the stocks, and if there are any stocks in particular that you're interested in my sort of thoughts behind them, whether they're buy or sell opportunities now, or why I invested in them, or why I continue to hold them, please do let me know in the comments. The comments help drive what sort of videos you guys want to see, and I'm very much going to create the content based on what you guys want to see. So I don't want to go into mass detail on this video, but please do let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, and please do be sure to hit the like button. That does help YouTube's algorithm to get me more known and help get me more subscribers. I'm on a campaign to get to 200 subscribers before the end of June, and I really would like your support in getting me there. As always, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next video. Thanks very much, guys. Speak soon. Peace.